Good evening, everybody. I'm just doing a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Very good. Well, excuse me. Thank you for joining us. This is part 2 of our series on improving marketing for flight instructors. For the moment, I'm putting everybody on mute for just 1 second, including you, Rick, just so we can make sure that we're all on the same page. One bit of ground rule. By the way, I'm Bob Mader. I apologize. Should have said that right up front. One small ground rule for the meeting tonight. If you're not talking, so I can open up all the mics and not make you wait, please put your microphones or your cell phones or your voice protocol, whatever you're using, put it on mute, please. Because what we get a lot of times is some feedback or echo or reverb or whatever you want to call it. It's a lot easier if for everybody if I don't have to mute everybody and can leave everybody open, and you can just join in when you're ready to go. So that's about all I have for the do's and don'ts for the moment, to quote my friends at Southwest. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Rick. And Rick, I guess you want control of the screen?
Sure. You can give that to me.
Here we go. This is Rick Todd, everybody. He's one of our members and great all-around guy and a good friend. And he'll talk about improving marketing for FBO. So you're up.
Okay, thanks, Bob. And just hopefully everybody was on the first part of this series. And the first part was on general marketing and different techniques. We talked about inbound marketing. We talked about social media and talked about websites and blogs. This particular section is going to be on websites, what you should focus on. Creating a website as a independent flight instructor to augment your profile that's usually at FBOs or your flight schools. And, basically the more links you have coming towards that flight school's homepage, or even you as an individual instructor, if you are doing outside contract work and things like that, it will help you, and it'll still even help the school just because it has more sites linked to it. So with that, this will be part 2 of this series, again focusing mainly on the website portion of it. So how to make your instructor website. Now we're going to be using 1&1's program, and actually they have a fantastic deal. If you guys don't have if you don't have a website, they have a great deal. It's 99 cents, I believe, for the entire year for the first year website services, which is outstanding, and it's at least a chance that you can get to play around with the systems. And I haven't heard of any other company offering that, but it's a pretty good deal. I host my website on 1&1, and I don't get any points or anything for referring people, but it's definitely a pretty easy site to navigate and to build, so we'll go over that. So the first couple items we have are what website programs are out there. Some of the most easy to use is 1&1, like I mentioned. GoDaddy, as you know from a lot of the commercials. They have great rates. They have a good marketing program for their site, but I've ran into problems occasionally on their website development side. And finally, the last site is Fat Cow. Now, Fat Cow's actually been around since '98, and it's kind of one of those underground web hosting companies that all of the super geeks know about, but they are pretty much have built their network based on people telling other people. And there's some good website stuff with that. They use a website builder called Weebly, which you may see that if you've ever looked at doing websites on your own. Apparently that's a blank page. I apologize. All right, so how do we do it? Okay, so we're going to just jump right in. A lot of this is going to be hands-on, and I'll kind of show you the different things we have. So the first thing we have here is, like I said, the one-on-one. Now, one-on-one has a couple different options. They have this My Website Business, which is great if you're an FBO and you want to do various things such as get a blog, have your social networking hosted on there, do group emails. But for an individual instructor, it's way overkill and you don't need it. They have this new product that they've developed called My Website Lite. And that's the one that's really good for individual instructors and people that are just starting out web hosting. Now, if you see right here, they got this deal 1 year for 99 cents. Like I said, it's easy enough to get and try it out. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it. But for 99 cents for a year, you really can't beat it. So what you would do is go on, click on this one, and the GoDaddy and Fat Cow are pretty much the same way, but we'll just go through this. So you can go through, put in all of your information, sign up. It'll ask for your credit card info and all that other stuff. And then eventually you'll get to this page. And this is what they call their My Website homepage. And it's really nice because right off the bat you could see that you have the basic structure of this website. Now it's really simple to add stuff. If we wanted to add a page, we could go in here. Okay, we can add a new page. Let's say we wanted something for let's say FAA documents. Okay, we could have a separate web page just for that. And you can see right there, it just pops it right up onto the screen. It's super easy. If you have a logo, you could put that in the top. Otherwise, you could just leave it blank. All of this stuff is what we call a GUI, or a graphical user interface. And pretty much if you know how to use Word even a little bit, Microsoft Word or WordPerfect or any of those, you should be able to build this site without any issues. And if not, One-on-One actually has a very good help desk. They have, you can actually click here, and they have different how-to guides, videos, and then if that still doesn't work, they even have a contact thing that you could call this 1-800 number. And believe it or not, they do pick up the phone, and their service has grown a lot over the years. So you can see right here the basis behind this at the very top. We have our navigations. So we have our home page, about me page, contact page. That's the basic stuff you want. You could also do, what I would recommend is doing another one that says services offered, or just services. Okay, the simpler the better on websites, especially nowadays, because we have so much stuff pushed in front of our face that the simpler the better. You get right to the point. So you can see right here, I have my my title, and I can edit that if I don't like it. Basically, when you sign up for the website, it'll so for example, I did the Rick Todd flight instruction. It's going to give me that as the website title. Now I can edit this. I can say Rick Todd flight instructor at Lewis University Airport. Okay, you could change the fonts. You can change the background. So it is super simple to do. So we'll just save that, and I'll show you how easy it is to choose a background. And there's many aviation backgrounds available. Okay, so if we go into our background, say we don't like this one. We're going to delete that, and we're going to say I'm just going to add one. Now they actually have a lot. If you just type in right here, we're going to clear this and enter search terms. So let's put airplane in there.
Rick, I'm going to ask you to pause 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the screen just caught up. Never mind, on my screen in Omaha, I wasn't with you there. So now
sorry.
I'm back.
I had to go to China first. Yeah.
I think so. Okay, you keep going.
All right, so you can see right here, just the simple word airplane, we have all of these different stock images that you can use. So maybe we want to go with this motif here. So we could click that, add the image, and save it. And that's how fast this thing updates. Just like that. Okay, so it's super easy to do as far as the images go. If you want your own image, you can upload that. We'll talk about image rights and what to be careful about in a little bit. So what do you put on the main part of your web page? Okay, you can see they have right here a bunch of different icons and things like that. This is really too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this whole thing here. And you can add various things. Say you just want a paragraph. We're just going to add a paragraph up front here. Underneath, you can move these. If I get it in the right spot. All right. So it's very easy to change this sort of thing. So you can add whatever pictures you want. Say I want to put something here for that I'm a NAFI instructor. Okay, let's go in there and we'll take a look. Oh, there's a picture of Carl there. We're going to go in. Grab our logo, and the nice thing about this is it automatically sizes it. So we're going to upload it here, and just give it a minute. There we go. So it automatically sized it. Now these are really important. This alternate text, this shows up on search engines. So this would be something that you would put like NAFI instructor in Chicago or something like that. You never want to leave those blank. Image caption you don't want to put in, but alternative text you do. That would be for somebody who's using a really slow browser and couldn't see that image. Okay, so we're just going to save that here. And again, like you see, it is so easy to use. So there's text boxes here. And we're going to say something like this. What is a NAFI instructor? I could put out, find out here. Now here's where the linking starts to get really easy. So say I want to link the word here. All I have to do is first grab the link if I don't know it. So in this case, we're going to go to NAFI, NAFInet.org, which is our website. We're going to right mouse click on the top here, which is our web browser bar, and we'll say copy. That'll copy the entire line into our clipboard. We can go back to our website and click on this little button here. This is the link button. So if we click on that, you can either do an internal link, which would be inside your web page, which that's not what we want to do. What we do want to do is an external link, okay? So you can just we're going to do it again the right way, right mouse click on it and paste. And right there, we can create the link. Save that. And now we have this basic web design right here. Let's say we're just going to delete some of this other garbage here to keep this website clean.
So, Rick, why don't you talk about the importance of that hot link, since you put the link to our web page right there.
Right. So the importance of the links, when you're linking, okay, and this would be, for example, if I put my flight school here, I'm an instructor at Chicago Premier Flight Training. If I did that in this location, that link then goes directly to the Chicago Premier Flight Training homepage. The more links you have, the higher you're going to be on the search engines. Now, that's just one of many, many algorithms that are put into the search process. But the more things that you do to increase your presence, higher up you're going to be in general. And a lot of people don't even do this. In fact, I know probably majority of instructors that don't even have their own webpage. And it's actually to your advantage and to the flight school's advantage, like we said before, simply because of that purpose. Now, if you are employed by a flight school, I would double check with the owner, your employer, and make sure they're okay with it. And because depending on what agreement you signed, you may not be able to say, hey, I can give you BFRs and stuff outside of my flight school. But what you can do is say, hey, I'm employed at this flight school. Come on over here, and I can give you a BFR through that flight school. You have to be careful with things like that. But that's kind of the importance of the links. Did that answer your question, Bob?
I think so, and also the ability to search via the various engines, or the ability of the various search engines to find you is really what I'm trying to say, and the convenience factor for your potential clients.
Right. Exactly. Now, on that, like I said, this is just one of the very simple things you can do is to link to that item. Didn't mean to do that. The other things are in your page header. Okay, so we're going to go up here into our settings, and right here, this edit header section. Okay, this is actually very important. Now, that one they changed on me. That does happen because everybody updates it all the time. Oh, here it is, header. No. All right. Well, I apologize, everyone. Basically, there is a header section in here that behind the scenes, it has things like keywords, okay, which didn't used to be as or it isn't as important as it used to be, but it's still one of those components that helps increase your search rankings. It used to be that was the only thing that the search engines looked for, and also in the content of the the web page as well. So on that, make sure that the header sections are filled out, and this would be one of those things where you contact the technical support, because obviously they moved something around, and I'm not sure where they moved it to. So header section, make sure that you have some good content in the home page, okay, the beginning page. There are several good sites that do that. In fact, there's one that's really good up by us. I'll show you theirs. Okay, it's actually really nice and clean. You can see this is a company just northeast of us. They got just some really simple images and a brief description of what they have and what it is. And you can see it's really not that big of a home page. Okay, but it's enough to grab your attention and get you to drill into all of these different items. And that's kind of the idea.
So what you're saying there is less is more. Make it intriguing. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Make it intriguing. Make it grab your attention. And definitely, as you're doing this, ask your friends for advice. You know, put the website so they can see it, and ask, you know, does this grab your attention? What do you think works? Because oftentimes when I'm working on my own site or somebody else's site that I know, you get to do something and you may think it looks great, but then nobody can find like the Contact Us tab or something of that nature, and you don't really think about it. So definitely get second opinions on things as you're developing the site. So the home page is really important. I always have like an FAA documents page, and again, this is actually really easy to do because you don't even need to put the documents on the website. So what I do here, say I want the airplane flying handbook. Okay, right here. Here is the airplane flying handbook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click and do this Save Link As. Okay? So we are going to, copy link address, rather. My apologies. So we can do that. We'll go back into our website. We'll add a text box here. Just give it a second to load. And we'll just add this nice short little piece of text saying, get your airplane here. Again, highlight it, use the link, external link, and again, right-click, paste, and we'll create that link. So this is a good way to utilize the FAA's website, and we don't even have to download that big file, okay? If we switch over to page view, which will get rid of all of the other items, by the way, you can see here, this is actually a website address that I generated. It's actually pretty important. This may be a good tactic in your area, it may not, but like right here, the chicagoflightinstructor.com web address wasn't even used. So that might be a really good web address to get, like your city name and flight instructor, or your city name, learn to fly, something along that line, because that too will help your search engine rankings. So if we go down here now, if we did want to download that, we can just click on that, and that is going to immediately open up and start downloading the airplane flying handbook. And again, it's coming right off of the FAA server, not our server, so it's really handy to do.
Rick, somebody asked a great question.
Yeah.
If you have video that you want to add using this tool or any other tool, do you just link to the YouTube?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. There are things that you can do, and especially with this one, it's really simple. We can, let's just put it under the Services tab here. And let me get back into my Edit Web Page. These new programs have made it very, very simple to link up your Facebook, your Twitter accounts, as well as the YouTube accounts as well. So if we go into the Insert Elements, Social Networks, you can see right here, there's a web app, and you just click it and drag it into where you want it. Okay, and then we can put our video right here. So if we wanted to get, let's see, I'm not sure which video we can put up.
As long as it's not Miley Cyrus, I think we're okay.
Yeah. Well, this is just a demo anyway. Let's do Learn to Fly. Okay, and remember, this would be video specifically to you. So same thing, if we wanted to link this video, we just right mouse click on this, copy link address, and we can go back into our website here, put it right in here. Actually delete all of the items up till the YouTube address, which is right here. And then let's save it. Okay, so that should link. Now if we go to our live page view, it's going to call me a liar. Let's try this one more time. Now, it may not be working, Bob, because we're on the video chat right now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it limits the content, but you get the idea. It is actually very simple to do.
Okay. Well, the important thing is people saw how to do it. It's simple to
Right.
do, and everything that you're doing takes not a lot of time.
No, you can literally build a site like this in a day. Maybe even an evening. Just the important stuff is get your basic items up on the front page. And what, Bob, what is our policy on using the logo?
You have to be a NAFI instructor,
right?
In good standing, and that's the main issue. We don't want non-members claiming that they're NAFI members.
Right. Okay. So everybody that's on there, I mean, I would encourage it. I put it on my page. I mean, we can show you my home page here for my flight school, and you can see right here we're actually a NAFI flight training organization, but we have the links back to NAFI, and so if we go to that, it'll go right to the NAFI website, and that helps both promote NAFI as well as my web page as well.
And as you
Rick,
said,
this is John Gibson.
Go ahead, John.
Something else members may want to do is when you register for NAFI, when you renew your membership, or really at any time, to go into your registration and add your web page to your NAFI registration, which Well, then, if people look you up on the Find a Flight Instructor database on the NAFI website, then they'll see your web page, the one that you're creating here. And those cross-links do help people find you. Search engines look for that kind of traffic, and that's one way to just improve the number of folks that can find you.
Yeah, good point, John.
Thank you, John. So
just go ahead, Bob.
Well, the other question I have is, how often should you be afraid of changing your website? How often should you update it, edit, that kind of thing?
That's an excellent question. You should actually update your website at least once a month for content. It's actually suggested that, like you have headlines and things like that on the website, that they should actually change every couple of weeks, especially with something like this program, which is so simple to log in and modify. I mean, I've logged on from my cell phone and modified my website, like if I found an error or something. So it is quite simple to do.
And what kind of traffic do you think your website's generated? You're a South Chicago
Mm-hmm.
suburban school.
Right.
At Louisiana Airport, you're really you're almost into the far end of the South Collar counties in Chicago. What kind of traffic do you think it's been driving for you?
We get quite a bit, and actually I can show you exactly how much traffic we were getting. I don't have my other. That actually leads me in, Bob, to this next part of the equation, which is how do you find out how much traffic you're getting? Okay. Google actually makes a fantastic program called Analytics, and it is free. Why would you use this? Well, it actually tells you not only how many hits you get, but also it tells you the unique hits, if people have come back, and if there's any issues. Okay, and you can actually see we have one up here. This was one I made for one of our fundraising websites for the NAFI Foundation. And you can see here's our visits. We have a graphic link of what's going on. We just went live with this recently, so there's not too much data in it. But it does give me all of this information. It gives me some demographics. And believe it or not, all of this is in your browsers. When you type something into your browser, if you type your age, that data gets captured, and it's actually read by programs like Google and a bunch of other programs. And if for more on that, watch 60 Minutes. But it actually tells you who it is that's viewing your website, so we can even see if that person has had the gender and things like that. We can see. Where is it here? Let me get back to our data here. So if we scroll down, we can see the demographics. We can see the browsers they're using. If we have a compatibility issue, something like that. Most of these safaris would be mobile. A lot of them are. So you can get a whole bunch of information from here. But the main thing you want to see is your hits. How many visits do you have? How many pages do they visit? Okay, and then the other thing is, how long do they stay on the website? The general consensus is, if you don't you have 7 seconds to grab somebody's attention. If you don't grab their attention from your home page in the first 7 seconds, most of the time they're going to go somewhere else. And that's straight out of the web publishing books. It's very, very astounding. But even as I'm searching for my full-time job, I find that I do that myself. I'll skim the data, see if that's something that I want to use, and then if not, then I'll go to the next website.
Interestingly enough, just before we started tonight, I was trying to look up something about PowerPoint, and you're exactly right. That was my behavior. Just, nope, not this one, not this one, not this, that. This is the one.
Right, exactly. But it's really easy to set up the Google Analytics. All it is just a little piece of code, and also it'll ask you when you set it up the website and all this other stuff. Actually, this one wasn't set up. But I can tell you that my hits, I generally get over 1,500 visits a month, unique visits for my general website. Most of that is because of the blog that I have. And that's another thing for another day, what the content is. We'll probably do another segment solely on content for your blog and what to put in it.
And also social media in general, I think we want to talk
about. And social media, yeah, that kind of all falls under the same umbrella. But the analytics tool is very good and super easy to use. Again, all these things are pretty intuitive. And if not, there's enough people out there that'll help you through it. Finally, the last bit of information that you'll want is your contact page. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this contact. My internet's being slow here, so bear with me. There's the general form that they have, okay, which when you fill it out, let's get back to the edit page. When you fill it out, it'll go to usually a general email address. So let's go here and check it out. So you can see right here what it's going to do is send me an email. It'll say, okay, well, what do you want to collect from that person? What I usually collect is a name, an email address, and the final thing is also a zip code. Which could probably be in this address area.
And why do you like to collect the zip code, Rick?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You don't want, for example, I'm in the Chicago area. If there's somebody from California reading my blog, maybe they are interested in the simulator stuff that I have up on my blog, which is great. That's why it's there. But I don't want to market to them because they're in California, so it doesn't really make sense to market my flight instruction services to somebody that far away. So I found zip code was the easiest thing because I can do a radius search and actually see if that zip code falls within like a 50-mile radius of the airport. And that's kind of the far extreme. I don't get too many people that are farther away than that. So the general contact form is great. If you're an individual instructor. If you're a flight school, you'll want to employ something a little bit more robust, like MailChimp. Okay, and what you would do is get a MailChimp account, which is free, and this is a email marketing tool. And I apologize for my internet. I don't know. I guess the squirrels aren't running very fast today.
They're cold. It's been a long, long winter.
Yeah. But anyway, MailChimp is a free service, and I'm all about the free stuff, as you can probably tell. You fill out the information. It'll say, okay, well, how do you want to get your list? And you'll say, well, I want a contact form. So you'll fill out the information. It'll give you some, basically a paragraph of what you would think of as nonsense, and unless you know a thing or two about programming code. And what you would do with that is copy it and paste it just like we have everything else. So here we go, finally. And you would end up placing that back on our website. We can delete this and say we want to do our own form. Let me close some of these windows. That'll probably help.
So again, the idea is to gather up as much information as is, or gather relevant information as is reasonable.
Yeah.
From the people coming to you, so you can look at demographics, look at your marketing.
Exactly. So what you would do here, so say you want to put your content form right here, you can actually switch to HTML mode, which is that little button that said HTML. And this is where you would post all of that script or code from the other website. Let's see, yeah, here we go. Okay, so you can see there's extra characters and things, and these all mean stuff. Like I said, if you know a thing or two about website programming, then this won't be anything new. But right here is where you would post your all of that content from MailChimp or Constant Contact or one of the other mail marketing programs. But again, you really wouldn't need this if it was just a single instructor. But the contact me, it's very important. I would not put your, if you have a personal phone number, I would recommend not doing that. What I would do, you can actually go to like a Google Voice and get a phone number to funnel your calls through. So that way, if you do want to change it, you can delete it and nobody has your personal cell phone number. It's just not something you really want to put out on the internet. So that's pretty much it as far as what to put on the website. Does anybody have any questions? Have you had any problems with developing your sites or?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I see for many instructors is embracing doing this. A lot of folks are either intimidated by building these types of sites, or just still rely on word of mouth. And as everybody's seen, this is very, very simple to do, and very, very, very powerful, either for yourself as an individual or if you have an FBO.
Right, exactly.
Working for a large company, full-time as I do, one of the things our marketing people have flat out said is that if we don't have a web presence, we're not there anymore.
That's true.
So food for thought for all of you that are trying to spread the word. And if nothing else, if you have something to say, as far as social media and so on, this is a great way to draw attention to it and put it out there.
Absolutely.
And we'll cover that probably in about 2 months. We'll talk about how to use social media, how to get everybody's attention for you or your school. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts or suggestions? Well, we've either stunned them or you've done an extremely thorough job.
Well, if anybody has any questions, you can always email Bob. You can email myself. Just a couple closing points here. So I guess I'm just going to plug this, Bob. You didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm going to plug it anyway. So there's a couple things that for our foundation that we're working on fundraising for, and you guys as members can help forward any of these items. The easiest thing to do is look for our Facebook page right here, the NAFI Foundation Facebook page. If you click on NAFI Foundation Facebook, if you search for that, it'll pop right up. And we have a bunch of nice posts on here for a fundraising campaign that we're doing, that we're just looking for a couple bucks here or there. And also, and these are the really cool things that doesn't cost anybody anything. Amazon, if you click right here, we actually get 6% of your order value just by going to Amazon through our link. and that's available on the Facebook page. And you don't even know it's happening, which is great because we benefit, and it doesn't cost you a dime. The final thing is we are actually registered on eBay as a not-for-profit organization, and when you list something on eBay, you can actually donate from 10 to 100% of the final value fee of the item that you're selling. And oftentimes, people bid a lot higher on things when it's a donation to a foundation or some other event like that. So if you would be so kind as to like our page and also try to use these tools because it helps us, and in turn it'll help the future of aviation, which is what we're all trying to do here.
Just to be clear, this is the NAFI Educational Foundation, which is a separate organization from NAFI. It came from the same founders, and it's related to, but not part of NAFI. NAFI itself is a not-for-profit, but it's not a charity. The NAFI Educational Foundation is a 501c3. It is a charity, and it is the educational arm. It has a separate board, separate board of directors, and they basically fund scholarships, educational scholarships, and educational programs.
Yep. So that's my plug. Here's my contact information. So if any of you guys want to contact me or email me, questions, comments, concerns about the presentation, we welcome the feedback. And we got Sun and Fun coming up, right, Bob? So
well, I wanted to talk about that for just one second.
Right. So why don't you take the floor on that, and I'll be down at Sun and Fun the whole time. So if you email me, we can get together and talk down there. And on that, Bob, I'll hand it back to you.
Okay. So I don't know how many of you will be going to Sun and Fun this year. Hopefully all of you. But for those of you that are going to Sun and Fun, we will have a booth this year. For those that asked last year, yes, we'll have a booth. You'll also see us walking around in our blue polos. A couple of us will have our iPads with us, along with card swipers. So if you want to renew your membership while you're at Sun and Fun, or encourage your friends to join, we'll take care of that, or we can take care of it at the booth. And also, we have our NAFI dinner, which is free for members and their guests. It'll be at and John Gibson, help make sure I get this right. It's the Bueller Restoration Hangar, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the Bueller Restoration Hangar, which is across from the Sun and Fun Academy, I believe. It's the high school there on the property. It's 5:30 Eastern Time, Thursday night. We will have a terrific speaker, Rich Graham. Many of you may know who he is. He's written a book on flying the SR-71. He'll be talking about that and how it relates to flight instruction. We'll also have a NAFI brown bag lunch on Friday. The nice folks at the Ultralight Association, USUA, I believe is their title, have offered us space in their tent at 11 o'clock. It's a bring your own lunch. I'm not buying lunch for everybody, but anybody wants to come over and take the opportunity and to talk to us in person, we'll be there. And of course, we'll be in and out of the booth. And please buttonhole us. Feel free to talk to us. We enjoy coming to these shows to see the members, and we like looking at airplanes too. But the main reason we go is so we get a chance to shake hands with folks and have a good time and talk airplanes and talk flight instruction.
Did you mention the Hall of Fame presentation at the dinner?
No, I did not. Thank you. I knew I forgot something. We will be presenting. I can't tell you who it is. Can't tell you. But we will be inducting our next NAFI CFI Hall of Fame member at the dinner. And I think it'll be a great presentation. And another nice thing about the dinner is our sponsors will be there, people that you know and talk to, everybody from Avemco to Sporties to ASA and so on. their folks will be there, and it's a great time to sit down and talk with them and provide your direct feedback onto what you like about their products or which improvements you'd like to see or changes and so on.
Before we get off, I see that Mike Jewell has a question about domain names and ownership.
I missed that. Thank you.
It just came in. Rick, do you want to talk about that? You know, when I went and looked at domain names, you know, after you gave us that 1-and-1, I went and I played around with some.
It
does
fun,
seem to be a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a .com, there's .net, there's .org, there's .mx, there's .co.
There's pretty much everything now. Mm-hmm.
Well, and then, but you know, I think people should understand that things like .mx are designed for folks that live in Mexico, and .co is for Colombia. So don't be confused by those. But there is an opportunity to get the domain name you want, even if whatever domain name .com that you want is already taken. There are some other opportunities for you to still get what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do things like put hyphens in between the words in the letters. That's one way to do it. You can get a different. I would caution though about getting a different dot extension. So, for example, if I had flightinstruction.com and you wanted also flightinstruction.com, but you would get like flightinstruction.net. And the reason I caution from that is because that can get confusing to people. A lot of people are familiar with the .com domains, the .nets, the .orgs, obviously .orgs for nonprofit organizations or clubs, things like that. But you can use .nets, you can use .coms, you can use .biz, but they're just not as familiar to people. So a lot of times when you're saying a website, a lot of people just assume .com. So you might be directing them to a different website.
Very brief. Oops. Were you done?
Yeah,
Mike?
I see that from Mike. Yeah, how to get the NAFI logo. You can actually go right to the NAFI website, or if you click on the Google, you just open up Google and type in National Association of Flight Instructors logo. There'll be a couple of them that pop up. Just make sure you don't grab one that has the affiliate of EAA on there.
Yeah,
those are still floating around. I'm going to jump
in here and ask people to hold off and wait about a week.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to ask folks to wait about a week, if you're in a hurry, contact us directly. But if you wait about a week, we'll have brand new logos, NAFI logos, posted to the website. We just finished a project to update those. Some of the stuff that's out there has been cobbled together by folks like me who don't know what they're doing. And so we've created NAFI logos, to get just the wings. We've gone and masked off, some of the words around it. So we've actually had a professional redo those, and as timing and luck would have it, I just got the final draft while we were on this call. So we'll have brand new, fresh ones. All the colors will match, and we'll post those onto the NAFI website and make those available to members. And there'll be a link that you can go to,
and that will be
sign in, and then you'll be able to get files that will work better for you. Because some of the stuff, I got to tell you, that because of the way it's put together, if you put it up on your website, it looks good when you put it up there, but when you see it on the website, it looks pretty awful.
Bitmaps that don't proportion right. And so
they just don't register right. So we fixed all that stuff, and we'll have that for you. But give me till Monday or so to figure that, get that all cleaned up.
And just for everybody's benefit, no, we're not changing the logo. Don't get the idea that we're doing that. This has been a clean up and tidy up.
Exactly. Some of our logo, the colors in our logos didn't match. They were a different color red or a different color blue, and the files that created them were not high enough resolution that when you put them on your website, sometimes they come out looking fuzzy, and it just didn't look professional.
Actually, one more point that I forgot to mention. We started to, but I didn't. That's rights to images.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
You have to be very careful about when you do download images off of the internet, who owns the rights to those images. There's been many, many lawsuits that have been filed. So what I recommend is if you want what we call stock imagery, there's a lot of stock image websites out there, and you can just search stock image. One of the ones that I use is called iStockPhoto. That's all one word, letter I, stockphoto.com. And what that is they have some free items that are on there. They post new free images every week. And then also you have paid images. So this is a site where photographers or artists, digital graphic artists, can post pictures or post vector diagrams for you to purchase for a small fee. And that basically gives you the rights to use their design art on your website. So that's one last thing to
and one more
as far as the legal thing.
And one more thing I will add, because this comes up in companies all the time. This just came up at my day job. If you have an image of one of your students or an image of somebody that you want to put up on your website, make sure they agree to it. I don't pretend to be a lawyer. I won't tell you what form to use. They may want to contact a legal professional to find out what kind of waiver they need to sign so that you can put their image on the website, because this is not incidental photography or an incidental image like taking a picture in downtown Chicago or downtown New York. This is a specific image of a specific person. So just make sure that somebody doesn't feel blindsided by their image being put up. With that, I'm going to ask everybody's indulgence for about 3 more seconds. John Gibson would like to talk about an exciting new product that you get a preview of it. We're going to roll this out at Sun and Fun, but John sent me a text and said he wants to show this off tonight. You ready, John?
Yeah, bring it my way. I think I'm ready.
All right. Everybody, this is John Gibson. He is our director of, we just changed the title. What is it now, John?
Backroom sweeper.
John is the guy who helps us get great sponsorship and does all of the...
I'm in charge of business development, so some of what you're about to see is part of that new job. So.
Okay, bear with me 1 second. You didn't respond, John.
Oh, what do I do here?
You should get an invite saying...
What am I looking for?
You should get a pop-up somewhere on your screen.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Right. Well, what can you see? I'm at a loss. Tell me what you guys can see. You should be seeing the NAFI website.
It is the NAFI website.
Okay. Well, for folks looking in, first thing I'm going to go to is this Find a Flight Instructor. All of you who are members are listed in here. And if someone comes and looks for your name or looks for one of your specialties, you'll be revealed in here. When they click the search, this is what the search bar looks like.
John, you may want to scroll a little bit to the right. Take your scroll bar and go a little right. You're falling off to the side there. Your bottom scroll bar. There you go.
Okay. Can you see it now?
That's better. Thank you. Okay. But actually grab the scroll bar down at the bottom of your screen, or is that my screen?
Must be your screen because I'm center.
I apologize. That was my screen here in Omaha. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to point out, I'd said earlier that you should put your website, if you have one, put your website on here, and we'll see that Guy has done such. So that'll show up. It's a hot link in your Find a Flight Instructor listing. Now, one of the reasons I bring that up is this search page and this NAFI instructor information is under redesign, and we're going to be adding some features for members. One of the things you'll be able to upload to this is a photo, so you can get a headshot, and it will display on your page. There'll be some other features in here, some other things that you'll be able to do. If you're a NAFI Master, the NAFI Master logo will show up on your page. There's some other features, a short bio. You'll be able to write a short bio and put that in here. Those are some of the new things. On the search results in this bar in here, your headshot will show up. If you're a NAFI Master, some of those things will show up in here. So we're doing some redesign to try to help do a better job of featuring NAFI flight instructors. This next page is brand new. This is a flight training organization lookup, similar to Find a Flight Instructor, but this will be, by the time it's finished, a list of all flight schools in the United States. And if you're a flight instructor that works for one of the flight schools that signs up on this site, you'll be linked to that school, and your Find a Flight Instructor page will be linked to that school. This is what the search results look like for the schools. You'll see this happens to be Rick's school. These at the very top are NAFI Flight Training Organization members. When it gets down to things like Choice Aviation, and these are flight training organizations that have purchased an enhanced website. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that everybody, if you happen to be a flight school and are in business and we know about you, you'll be listed on this page. The purpose of doing this Find a Flight Training Organization exercise is that searching for a flight school can sometimes be a challenge. The flight training businesses, there's some volatility in it. People come and go. Google searches frequently result in results for schools that are no longer in business. And so to find somebody who's actually in flight training can sometimes be a challenge. So we are hiring NAFI staff to work that are dedicated to maintaining the information that's in this flight training organizations, because what we want to have here is accurate information for flight students to go and seek flight instruction. You'll see at the top here, we'll use Chicago Premier as an example of of a NAFI member organization. You can see that there's a logo there. There's a button here that clicks to more information, and then you get a larger page that describes what Chicago Premier does. This isn't completely filled out because it's still, we only moved this to the site yesterday, so it's all brand new. But the training and certificates, this will be quite extensive. If you have a school that teaches seaplane ratings, that'll be listed in here. If you do aerobatics, if you teach powered parachute, if you do tailwheel training, mountain flying, if you have a professional pilot program, all of that stuff will be listed in here. Member organizations also get a couple of pictures, and then there's a map that helps folks find you, on a Google map. So that's a new flight training organization directory from NAFI. You guys are the first people that have seen it publicly, and we're going to work to develop this over time to be something, more meaningful for flight instruction. So anyway, I wanted to introduce that. Thanks for taking the time. This page here is under development. We've got a couple of drafts. But probably within the next 2 weeks, this will become, much more interesting. You can see that there's some advertisements that are already on the page. It's the revenue from these advertisements that help us pay for the staff to maintain the site.
Yeah.
So,
John, how many?
That's how it works.
John, just briefly, how many verified flight schools Are you comfortable saying that number?
Yeah, I have just over 1,400 verified flight schools, but there are just under 3,000 in the database. And so we're working to confirm those. We've taken probably the last 18 months to 2 years to pull together, searching on the web and, reading AdWeb, reading, AOPA Summit, or scanning Google searches for flight schools, trying to keep abreast of, who's new. The hardest ones to find are somebody that, that pops up with a new school that you don't know about. But we believe once we get this in place, that those people will start to find us. So.
Okay, well, thanks, John. Does anybody have...
Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah,
no problem. I was just going to say, any questions for everybody?
Yes. Related to the earlier conversation about logos, has the NAFI logo been updated in a vector art program such as Illustrator as far as artwork assets?
John, you were...
Yes, it has.
Okay, super. So it's vector art.
I'm glad you had that one, John. I hadn't seen the files yet. So.
Yeah, well, I only just got them. There's a couple of things I want the guy to tidy up in the master logos, but everything else is ready to go, and we should have those available for you. Like I said, well, depending upon John Niehaus's schedule, hopefully before Sun and Fun.
Okay, any other questions?
And I tell you what, for folks on this call, if you have a need for the NAFI logo and can't wait for us to put it up on the site, send me an email directly at jgibson, that's Jgibson, jgibson @nafinet.org, and I'll send them to you.
That's a great thing about being chairman of this organization. I got people jumping through hoops doing stuff for us. Any other questions? Jim, I just see you're in 972 area code. Is that Washington State?
No, I'm actually in Addison, Texas. I'm right next to the airport.
Oh, okay, that's Texas. Okay. Sorry, I was just taking a guess. I was going to ask you how things were up northwest, but never mind.
Oh,
okay. All righty. Well, any other questions from anybody tonight? Well, these are always a lot of fun. And Rick, thank you so much for your time tonight. John, thank you for the preview. Those of you who will be at Sun and Fun, please look us up. And as the old joke, obviously my wife just texted me, but the old joke is everybody knows I wear Western hats, so hunt me down, grab me, tackle me. If you have any complaints, I'll listen to them. If you have any compliments, I'll love to hear them. But we do want your feedback. We do want to know how we're doing because it's the only way we'll ever improve. So thank you again so much for being here tonight. Everybody fly safe. If you're not at Sun and Fun, enjoy the spring weather as it's coming because it's been a long, horrible winter for everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night.